At first, it felt like everything had finally fallen into place. The house was no longer quiet. It was filled with small sounds. The soft roll of Jane's wheelchair, the clink of cups in the kitchen, and sometimes laughter. Real laughter. Rose would sit beside her mother, brushing her hair slowly, like she used to. Jackson tried in his own way. He would help lift Jane gently, adjust her blanket, even joke sometimes just to see her smile. And when she did, it felt like everything was worth it. But peace can be very delicate. Sometimes it breaks without warning.
It didn't happen all at once. It came quietly. In the late nights when Jackson stayed up longer than usual, staring at his phone, calculating numbers that never seemed to make sense. In the mornings when Rose looked more tired than rested, her smile still there, but weaker. The hospital visits increased. The medicine changed. The bills followed. And still, no one complained. Jackson smiled, even when he was exhausted. Rose nodded, even when she was overwhelmed. Because love was there, but so was the weight of reality. One afternoon, Jackson's friend visited. At first, it was casual, but then his eyes began to notice things. The wheelchair, the medicine, the quiet tension. And then he said it. "Man, this is too much for you. You're young. This isn't the life you planned." Jackson laughed it off, but the words didn't leave. That night, long after Rose and Jane had gone to sleep, Jackson sat alone in the living room. No TV, no phone, just silence. And a thought he didn't want to admit. Am I strong enough for this? Morning came bright and calm. Too calm. In the kitchen, sunlight filled the room as Rose prepared tea. Jackson stood nearby, unusually quiet. It started small, a missed errand, a delayed payment, a tired sigh. Then suddenly, it wasn't small anymore. "I'm trying, Rose," Jackson said, his voice tight. "But I'm tired." Rose froze. "She's my mother," she replied, softly but firmly. "I can't choose when to care for her." "I didn't say that," he snapped. "But this is hard." Silence. Heavy. Uncomfortable. Neither of them noticed. The hallway behind them, or the still figure sitting there. Jane had heard everything. Every word. Every pause. Every crack in their voices. She didn't interrupt. She didn't cry out. She just sat there, quietly, her hands gripping the arms of her wheelchair as if holding herself together. For the first time since she came into their home, she felt like she didn't belong. That night, Jane didn't sleep. She stared into the darkness, her thoughts louder than any sound. They were happy before me. I am the reason they are breaking. Tears slipped quietly down her face. Before the sun rose, she made a decision, a painful one. She folded her blanket neatly, packed only what she needed, and slowly, painfully wrote a letter. "My children, love should not feel heavy. Forgive me for being the weight you carry." She looked around the house one last time, then quietly she left. Morning came like any other. Rose walked toward her mother's room. "Good morning, Mama." No answer. She smiled, pushing the door open, and froze. The bed was empty. The wheelchair gone. The air felt different, wrong. Her eyes fell on the letter. Her hands trembled as she opened it. With every word, her heart broke louder. "Mama, no!" she whispered. Her voice cracked. Jackson rushed in. One look at Rose's face and he knew. Regret didn't come slowly. It hit them all at once. They searched everywhere. The hospital, the streets, the places she could barely reach alone. Every second felt like punishment. Every memory heavier than the last. "I should have been more patient," Jackson whispered. "I should have protected her," Rose cried. But regret does not turn back time. As the sun began to set, they found her, a quiet care center. Inside, Jane sat alone, still, calm, as if she had already accepted being forgotten. Rose ran to her, falling to her knees. "Mama, please come home." Jackson stood beside them, his voice breaking. "You were never a burden. We were just too blind to see your worth." Jane looked at them and for a moment said nothing. Then softly, "I only wanted you to be happy." Jackson shook his head. "We are only happy with you." They brought her home, not as a responsibility, but as family. There were no perfect days, no easy solutions, but there was something better now. Understanding, patience, and love that had been tested. That night, the house was quiet again, but not empty, because this time they chose each other fully. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share for more touching stories like this. Keep it at Tales of Liz. Sweet Tales. Bye. See you in the next one.